Yeah, man.
Internet of Things. Check the book Sandworm.
So once we get our children on to programming and stuff, like I said, they'll create apps, they'll create the platforms, and they can create the algorithm.
So this Google,
and we can control it to be healthy.
This Google software, this Google cybersecurity. That's a. You give that a thumbs up for. You laugh at it because is it laughable?
Well,
it's laughable.
Well, no. Here's the thing. It depends on the objective and the goal, and as Lord Jamel rightfully said to me, are we trying to train people just how to get a job and go work on a corporate plantation, or do we want people to get off the plantation and be self-industrious and not be colonized? So if we're talking about working on a plantation, then a certificate is fine. That's what you want to do. You want to go get a job. But if we want to build our own stuff, that ain't gonna cut it.
I mean, is it gonna will it at least have a spark, or?
Yeah, no, I think it's good foundational knowledge because it's gonna give you a well-rounded understanding about the cyber field, and it talks about data protection, which is important to understand. So it gets into that. So don't get me wrong, it's good knowledge. But again, like I said, I started off. It depends on your goal and the objective. If the goal and objective is to be makers and owners and control our own stuff, that's not going to be the strategy to close the gap, to get us from the 40-yard line to the end zone. That's what it's all about. How do we get from here to where we want to go here? You saying, how do we own and control our media? How do we stop getting colonized? Well, we got to have a strategy to do that, God. What is the strategy?
Right.
So I gave you one. Like, I came with a solution.
Yeah.
We got to train our own cadre and teach them.
So the way out of this hole is not an easy solution. It's not an overnight.
It's not overnight. Yeah.
It's not an overnight.
It's a generation thing.
That's what I was about to say. We got generations to go.
Yeah. I mean, us, at our age, are we going to do it? Like,
we can sit down.
We got too much responsibilities right now. You need people that ain't got, the kids got nothing else to do. The children, I like to use the word kids, but the children got a lot of time. They ain't got no responsibilities. You know what I mean? All they got to do is get on the computer.
Right.
We taking care of them, we feeding them, clothing them,
but the
shelter.
The counterculture is pulling them away from that, away from us. You see what I'm saying? So
True indeed, God. Yes, indeed. Yes.
You gotta have our own to live.
Yes. The counterculture is
the support system.
Woo! That's another bill. All right, so let's touch on that for a minute. In my presentation, I also talk about how these social media companies, and let's just use YouTube in this case an example. Oh no. All right, so at the beginning of January, right, there was a congressional hearing. If you remember about that, they called Zuckerberg and a couple of other social media presidents, and they talked about how there's harmful things happen on the platforms, and they had a, because here's the problem, right? When they do these congressional hearings, it's like they call them in, and then they sit there. You remember from The Godfather and how they had that whole congressional thing in there, and how the congressmen are sitting on the high chair behind the high table, and the people all low, and they like giving them a talking to, and they got all the cameras there, and nothing happens. There's no policy with no teeth to really enforce anything. That's what it really comes down to, right? I mean, we should touch on the politics for a minute too, but so anyway, they brought the social media presidents up. And both Republicans and Democrats were talking about, y'all need to do more. And they had some of the parents come up and tell stories. There's two good ones I remember. There was a lady, I forgot what part of the country she was from, and she talked a story about her daughter hooked up with some kid online. I think she went to a party, invited to a party. She went over, I think she got gang raped. Then they had photos or videos and they shared it out around the school, and she was so embarrassed she resorted to taking drugs when she got online, and then she ended up ODing. So the mother's like, the social media thing was all the problem here. Now there's another story, another woman came up, I remember this one, she's in Texas, and it was worse. She said her daughter would go to school, and there was a online gang that was looking at different girls' profiles online, and they would target some of them, and they were like, hey, we could hook you up with Birkin bags and all these other things that you might want, take you on trips, whatever, come hang out with us. And then they got her into sex trafficking, and they put her out on the streets of Houston. And The mother worked with law enforcement, and they were able to reclaim her. The guys came back online and said, you know, we got pictures of all your family, your little brother. If you don't come back with us, we're gonna kill all of them, or something bad's gonna happen to them. So she was afraid for her family, and she went back. And the mother's like, we can't get her no more. We just can't find her. She's gone now for the second time, and it's all because of social media and what's happening. So they was like, why isn't the social media companies doing better? And Zuckerberg got up and he turned around. He apologized. I mean, you can see like the snapshots. It's all on, you know what I mean, all the headlines to all these articles online about, you know, all these parents, and they standing up holding these signs. And Zuckerberg is there. He's like, you know, I apologize. We need to do better.
They don't fucking care.
There's another thing where they talk about online banging and how there's a lot of good youth counselors and people who do crime intervention, and they talk about how, and this is a lot of stuff I read, guys. That's what I'm saying. I read a lot of stuff with this. That's why I know about it. Like, I know we need to have a media literacy campaign like a crusade. You know what I mean? It's almost like being Morpheus before Morpheus. Like I'm the dude like trying to prepare Morpheus for what's coming next, right? But anyway, so what happened was they got this online banging, and what the violence interventionist people are saying is that it used to be back in the days in the school where somebody would talk about there might be a fight, and all right, I'm gonna see you after school. 5 or 10 people show up, they rough it up, and everybody walk away. Sometimes something might not even happen. They just be grabbing and pushing each other, and they walk away. Now, when there's a fight, it's all being spread through the phones. So now 100 people show up, and it's almost like it's encouraging something gotta happen, because now you gotta save face. So now where there was like there's times that these escalated or something wouldn't happen, it's almost like things gotta happen, right? Now, but there's also more about the counterculture and rap music where there's, I can't remember the rapper's name, but there was 2 rappers in DC. They were both 16, and they were online gangbanging, making rap songs, whatever, my clickers, whatever, we're gonna do this. Why don't you pull up? Here go my pen, whatever. Come over here. And they actually caught each other on the metro train in DC, and they was making videos, I caught you slipping, whatever, right? So that amplified it. So one of the rappers in this case, he set up the other one, was like, yo, he pretended, or somebody pretend to be a girl, come on out here, come check me, and the kid came out and shot him and killed him. And there were people who were tracking what was going on, and they tried to warn YouTube and other people, like, y'all need to pull this content down because it's escalating, and they didn't do it. So it just it goes back to how much are the social media companies complicit, how much are they willing to do. Now, as another case and example, when the government said we need to censor or stop the misinformation about COVID, the social media companies took action quick. So they do have the ability to do things when they want to, but in this case, they didn't do things to stop what was going on with the violence, and the people's asking them to do it. So again, it comes down to how much willpower do they have to actually do something, how much influence and how much teeth can we get behind these social media, because the pressure to do things. So again, that's what I'm asking. Where is that systemic failure coming to stop Yakub and all of them with their control on technology, what they're doing, right?
Well,
there's more that gotta happen, and it's not happening.
You must do your own research, as I did.
If Mega did this.